Hi, Simone. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. You could relax and your blood pressure is not too high. You're enjoying your family as much as you can. And this is a summary of the last courses. This is from the February 1st, but I need to scroll down a bit. There we go. So we had to reschedule, which was fine. And I gave you the course on Friday. So the obstetrician, okay, so you had this experience of preventive care where you had to go through different doctors in order to have a second opinion or a third opinion or a fourth opinion in order to see if you had to go to the hospital, to stay at the hospital, but that was not really necessary. Okay. And you have a friend who gave birth last year in London. She lives in London, and this is her third baby. And she experienced a different care because well, the system is cheaper and more reliable, more professional. You told me that in Brazil, you guys have to. It's better to go to a clinic or to use a private system because it's more professional and but it's still expensive. So you guys have to pay for everything. So I recommended you to do some yoga, some soft and mild yoga. It's fine, you know. I mean, if your doctor doesn't want you to do it, it's fine. There's no problem. It's just to or meditation, relaxing, you know. Another thing that can be good is to go to the swimming pool and you can relax, you know, like different, or you can go to a sauna, not a sauna, what's the name? Uh, you have this kind of, I forgot the name, you have this kind of places where you have smaller pools where you can relax. The water is not too hot, not too cold, and can be cleaner as well. Tai Chi can be good, Qigong, and soft practices. Okay, any kind of soft practices. Try to breathe, to be aware of your breath, and to not breathe with your upper body, but with your lower body. Even though you're pregnant, it's still important to bring the blood flow to the different parts of the body and help your baby relax as well. You know. I try to breathe calmly on the prenatal yoga. There's different things here. I sent you, by the way, on P-Cloud. You should have received my link. Um, it's a big folder with different audio files. You can listen to them, help you relax. When I'm very stressed out, like 5 minutes ago, the Uber driver charged me twice the course. I was really pissed because my on the way to school, my daughter became sick in the car because the driver was not driving fine and he charged me twice the course. So I was really pissed. And, you know, I contacted Uber. I'm waiting for their phone call actually, to see if they can uh, refund my money because this is not acceptable, this kind of services. I'm very picky with the service because I give a service, I provide a service, and I don't like mediocrity. But anyway, to do yoga, to relax, to chill out. Chill out is to relax, to breathe in, to breathe out. To chill out, you can also use it. It's as an adjective. It's chilly. It's cold. Okay, and not the country. Okay, chili with double L. Chili's. That's a restaurant. You told me about your aunt's car was stolen last week or 2 weeks ago, and so she's going through a lot of weird experiences because her daughter will leave, and you know, we have different phases. I'm going through a phase right now as well because I'm trying to give more energy to my coaching, consulting sessions. Lately, my business is fine. There's no problem. It's just I'm going through an existential crisis in a sense. It's more like I feel like I can provide more, I can give more, and I can specialize in more things. Um, my husband is a bit scared because, when he feels that I'm going through a crisis, he knows that I'm trying new things. And so this is what's going on right now for me. And, it's fine to get used to a routine, to something you feel comfortable with. But time to time, we can go through this crisis in order to evolve, to progress, to learn new things. And because the new generations are out there, and they're always you know hungry for new things and more things. Okay, so be careful when you want to talk about all month long, all year long, all week long. Okay, to use this expression. We talked about the depression in Canada, which is quite common in any kind of countries where there is a lack of sun and can be very snowy, or the location of the country is very specific. Probably Northern Europe, Northern America, mostly essentially Canada. People can be a bit more depressed. They can drink more. I've seen that. It's not good. So you can buy, if you move to Canada at some point, I recommend you to buy this kind of how can I say this kind of light. They mimic the sun, do some like sunlight bulbs, and they can help you to feel better, to um, it's not a joke. It's not a scam. It's very good for you. And you don't have the lack of sun, but just in case you move to a country where you're going to have to go through a long winter, I may recommend you to buy this kind of stuff. It's not a bad purchase, believe me. So, but beer, do sound very disgusting. I don't know if my company will be sold. um, you guys can have access to unemployment benefits, which is good because um, you know when you don't know how will be your future, it's quite, how can I say, it's quite scary, to stay for several months without a job. And I tend to fight because I created my own job. If I don't have any customers or clients, I just really fight as much as I can. But I don't want to go through this process, and it's still good to get unemployment benefits. But in Canada, I'm still new here. I'm still fresh, so no, they're not gonna give me anything. I need to get the residency and the citizenship if I want to have access to more things. I have to sneeze. I'm trying to control that. Sorry, I tried to control it, but I couldn't. The time has come to try something new. It's what I was telling you about the different crises. It can be imposed to you, or you can impose that to yourself because you feel it's time to do something new. He doesn't agree or he disagrees, so be careful now to agree with something or to disagree with someone or with something. He shares my opinion or he doesn't share my opinion. It's lame. You guys are going through a lot of crises in your country, so be careful. We can say a governor, a mayor. Um, in Canada, it's pretty good because you can have, when you have the residency, or when you're a citizen, you can have access to cheap studies, and they're cheaper than in America. America is very expensive, and you can have access to different PhD programs, master programs, MBA, etc. And the value is a little bit higher. When you go to Canada, check the garage sales because it's very cheap. You can have access to free stuff. You can also check Craigslist. People are willing to give away things because they want to get rid of some stuff. They don't necessarily want to sell them. So you can get free stuff. Okay, it's here. The refugees is becoming more and more of an issue everywhere, and the problem is, some countries are creating some issues in let's say, you know, in Syria, the issue was created by different European countries and also America. And the thing is, it's when you create a problem somewhere, don't feel surprised, or don't be shocked by the fact that some people would like to have, well, to have a piece of your cake, because you destroy that country. So this is what's going on with Syria and different countries in Middle East. So, and we talked about Natalia and Bruno, the fact that they're going to Canada. I gave them a lot of advice, because it's important to be aware of the situation, especially if you want to rent a place, you want to be independent. And the number one problem in Canada is to find a job that can be similar to yours in a different country. Like, if you want, we want to, how can I say? We want to feel like, if I'm a manager somewhere, I come from America, so the principle is different, because if you get a degree from an American school, you have more chances to find jobs. Okay, so I went to California, I went to Oregon to have different degrees, and I studied also in France. So I have a lot of stuff. But if I go to Canada, I went to Canada. If I go there with all my different degrees, they're gonna be like, okay, well, you come from different American schools and an European school, so I may feel like I can be on the same level. But if you come from a Latino country, my husband is Mexican, and he had to start as a mechanic, and he felt really bad about his situation. And I said, look, just sign the contract. It's gonna be a 2-year contract, and after you can have access to. They're gonna open more doors. They just want to trust you. They want to feel like um, they can trust you. You can be loyal. You can stay here and not gonna get out of the country. Every time you finish a contract. So that's a situation, and I have a lot of people who are you have a lot of expectations. So there are managers in Brazil, for instance. They move to Canada and they feel like they can find a job as a manager, which is not the reality, unfortunately. So it's not up to your standards. It's not like lowering your standards. It's just like to start a new life, a fresh life, and you want to how can I say? You want to feel like you can show. You have to prove that you can be reliable. I just received I just received a message from Uber. I want to share that with you because Uber is quite good. And they corrected my fare. So this asshole charged me twice, even more than twice the price of the fare, And Uber just sent me a message, and they say they corrected the fare. So instead of paying $60, they are just charging me uh, 25, I guess. Yeah, 25. So it's quite good, and they're very fast. So if you have to use Uber, uh, that's quite good. So let me check something. Page 60, and let me check something. Yeah, well, son of a bitch. The guy was a real asshole. So I'm gonna check the message after. I'm gonna contact Uber and make sure the guy is not gonna be in my neighborhood anytime soon. You have to be like that. You don't have any choice, because they can take advantage of your naivety. And even in Canada, don't be tricked by the fact that people can be nice to you. They can stab you in the back. You have to stand your ground. You have to not feel bad because you're just greedy, or you're trying to find some justice somewhere. I studied law, so I like when things are fair. That's it. The fare I was telling you about is spelled FARE. That's a price of that's a price of your how can I say, um, of your trip. You know, if you want to go somewhere, you take the plane, you take the train, or you take the bus, or the taxi. The price you pay to go from one place to another one, your trip, is called a fare. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the transcript. I'm gonna see you in a few hours, and let me know if you want to talk about a specific topic. We're gonna talk about the phrasal verbs. We're gonna continue that, and again, make you practice as much as you can. Okay. You have a wonderful morning. It's still the morning here. And I'll see you this evening, Brazil time. And meanwhile, I hope you feel fine. Take care. Bye bye.